The knowledge says I should get up early and do meditation. And the mind says I am getting happiness from sleeping. The knowledge says that you need to control the calories and not let them exceed 2400. But the mind says I want yet another gulab jamun. The mind obstructs the implementation of our knowledge. And that is where comes in the role of the willpower. What is the willpower? What is the willpower? My mind wants to do this, but I will control myself. My mind doesn't want to do this, but I will force myself. This willpower starts developing from adolescence. When the brain changes a little bit, the prefrontal lobes of the neocortex, they develop. And then one is able to trump the lower instincts by the higher instincts. So if children have less willpower, you can't blame them too much. God doesn't expect them as yet to have too much willpower. But from adolescence onwards, that willpower plays an important role. You may have got the best knowledge, but if you wish to reach the pinnacle of success, you will now have to implement it. And implement requires the exercise of your willpower to subdue this mind which is like a spoilt child. What does the mind want? Immediate gratification. And the intellect says, no, not immediate gratification. Postpone it for long-term gain. Mind says, I don't want to do this. The intellect says, come on, it's good for you. So, that willpower will be required to implement your knowledge into action. And that brings us to the mindset of discipline. And the technique for this is to create a habit. So we come to the power of habits. What is the power of habits? When you do something repeatedly, it becomes easier and easier and easier, and finally automatic. That is the power of habit. The first time you decided that I will get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you exerted all your willpower, but the mind was not willing to listen and you went off to sleep. But if you kept on doing it, slowly it became easier and easier and easier, and then it became automatic. Some people live paycheck to paycheck. It's very common in America, right? Paycheck to paycheck. But then they are on a shoestring budget all their life. And the intelligent people, they take out and invest. So they are intelligent because then they'll have an easy life in future. To make an investment is only good use of the intellect. Similarly, either you exercise your willpower for every decision you make. Your guest says 1/3 rasgulla. Oh, should I have to control myself? Chalo, le lete hain. So you will be fighting with your willpower 24 hours a day. Instead of that, an intelligent person uses the willpower to create a good habit. And once you've created a good habit, you have invested your willpower in some place. And after that, it becomes easy. So rather than fighting all day long, you just establish good habits. What you do through the day, majority of it is done by the force of habit. Somebody is habitually positive, somebody is habitually negative, somebody is a habitual worrier, somebody is a habitually fearless, mast. So everybody has created habitual pathways of thinking, and those thoughts are coming naturally to them. So what kind of habits do you set up? Try and understand this habit a little more deeply. See, whenever you do any mental or physical work, different sections of the brain are fired up. I'm telling you a little bit of neuroscience now. Different neurons get fired up. Your brain uses the sensory motors, the cortex, the neocortex, to bring your musculoskeletal system in work, to create thoughts and emotions. However, the brain is a self-learning machine. And what does that mean? That means when the brain discovers that something is being done again and again and again, the brain makes a shortcut out of it and stores it up in a section of its neuron called the basal ganglia. So that now the brain doesn't have to do the whole thing again. See, like first time you started typing, you had to exert your full brain. Where is the A and where is the B and where is the C? To find each letter, the brain had to think. But when the brain realizes this is being done again and again and again, then the brain made a shortcut. So first you were typing the letters automatically. Then the brain made a further shortcut and you were typing the words automatically. Thereby the brain simplified its works. It made macros out of it. Like in Excel there are macros, right? So similarly, your brain has created various macros or habits for you. Now the Excel sheet doesn't care whether the macro is good or bad. If you put in wrong macros, it will give you a totally messed up data sheet. Similarly, your brain doesn't care whether you have created good habits or bad ones. You have to dismantle the bad habits and you have to create the good habits. So what is the brain doing? The brain works like this. It receives a stimulus. And when the brain sees the stimulus, the brain responds, okay, I'll fire up this. And at the end, the brain strengthens the habit by some kind of reward. And what is the reward? The feel-good factor. It will create endorphins, it will create chemicals in the brain, the serotonin, the dopamine, so you feel good. Thereby the brain reinforces the habit. So the critical thing here is the stimulus. Social scientists and psychologists did deep studies. How do people develop the habit of fast foods? They found, McDonald's used the same stimulus. Every McDonald's outlet will be the same everywhere in the world. So people, moment they see, now the brains, I need this, I need the French fries. And when you get it, the brain will give you some good feeling. That was nice. So the habit has gotten formed. And the habit becomes so strong, the brain surgery will not change it. However, social scientists also found that habits can be changed. If the McDonald's outlet goes away, those families that had got habituated to fast foods, after 1 or 2 years, the habit has died away. The stimulus was gone. So, this is how the brain functions. Now, you utilize this for your benefit. In other words, you create good habits. Like I was saying, through the day, what you are doing is mainly by your conditioning. Some people naturally speak softly and politely. Some people naturally speak rudely. Now you say you must speak softly and politely. First they will use their whole willpower. How is it coming naturally to this guy? He has created a habit out of it. This power of habit is such that if you can create the beneficial habits, you will be able to do good things automatically. You will not have to struggle. It will become natural. That is the power of habit. That is why it is only good sense or wisdom to invest your willpower in developing the good habits.